Hello, namaste, vanakkam to everyone. Good day, good afternoon from wherever you are. I hope you all are doing good. So, I am Diksha Unyal from the Zoho Mail's marketing team, and I welcome you all to our webinar, which is From Mailbox to Milestone, Our Customer's Journey with Zoho Mail. Today's session, we have Mr. Sourabh Mathur from Vivusoft Technologies. So, thank you so much, Sourabh, for joining the session.
Thanks, Diksha. It's really a pleasure to join you and the team out here.
So let me start off by giving a brief introduction of Sourabh. So Mr. Sourabh Mathur is an experienced entrepreneur and tech leader with a successful track record of building and scaling companies in the software and MarTech space. He's the founder of Vivusoft Technologies, an LLD tech firm which caters to enterprises, Fortune 500 companies, startups, scale-ups, and governments. He's also an avid Zoho enthusiast and always is trying to spread the word about Zoho and is trying to give his feedback on Zoho's application. In fact, Sourabh was also part of the panel discussion at Zoholics, which is our annual user conference at India and Bangalore. So first of all, what we'll see is we will talk a little bit about Vivusoft Technologies. We'll be talking a little bit about how they transform their inbox, communication, and collaboration with Zoho Mail. We'll talk about the company. We'll talk about the challenges that they faced, what were the previous software they used. Then we'll talk about how Sourabh discovered Zoho Mail and Zoho applications. Then we'll dive deep into his experience of migrating to Zoho Mail. Then we'll also talk a little bit about the favorite features and discuss the benefits and ROIs that they have encountered after moving to Zoho Mail. And then we'll open the floor for question and answer session. So, Saurabh, let's start off by knowing more about your company. So, Saurabh, can you share with our audience a little bit more about the company, what type of products and services you provide, and who your typical customers are?
My company, Vivusoft Technologies, we are a L&D tech firm. L&D stands for Learning and Development Technologies. In terms of the products and services which we have, mostly revolve around the HR and L&D departments of large enterprises. The focus is on large enterprises, but we have an equal share of customers from mid-sized companies, SMBs, if I can say, and growth stage startups as well. The company basically, supports learning and development activities a company provides to their employees. So solutions like learning management systems, course authoring tools, tools to basically create engaging content, and all for the purpose of corporate training. So that's what we do in short.
And if I'm not wrong, your organization's work model is hybrid. Was that a decision taken because of the COVID and is continuing even after that, or how is that?
So I've been a big fan of remote working from at least a decade. I have realized the benefit of remote working long back. Since we were born during the COVID era, so we were remote. But then we also realized that like some of us need to meet face to face. So as of now, we are a hybrid organization. But then we have seen this journey from being a completely remote company to the hybrid company we are in, and we plan to remain a hybrid.
Okay. I would like to know, what do you think is the future? What do you think is going to sustain? Is it going to get back to work from office, or is the hybrid model here to stay?
I think Diksha, once people have realized that you don't need to be in office to be able to work efficiently, and that's what COVID forced organizations to do. Like people can be equally or rather more productive even if they're working remotely. I think hybrid is going to stay for long, but then my answer is based on my industry, my perspective. But then it will depend. Like a hospitality sector can never be remote. They have to be a company which works at a office. But then depending on the tech sector will be mostly hybrid, at least in the near future, and then we might see some new trends coming.
Okay. And Saurabh, can you also, describe your company's workflow or the process flow for our audience, and explain where Zoho Mail, sort of comes into picture?
So, we are distributors for a couple of principal software products. So, one being iSpring, which is a global L&T tech leader. Adobe is another one. We, being distributors for the APAC region, generate hundreds of leads on a daily basis. So, we have to connect to customers on a very, at a short notice, preferably a couple of hours. And then we qualify and, arrange demos for them. So email is the de facto channel for us to reach out to our customers. And once the through email communication, we also send the calendar links, and we also use like Zoho bookings to book our calendars for calls with the customers, be it an intro discovery call or it can be a long product demo. So all of that happens, and then again another Zoho product like Zoho meetings coming. So we do the product demos over there. And then the whole process obviously is very close knit with our CRM, and the data resides in one place, and all these changes which are happening to the lead structure is all centrally captured on our CRM.
Now that we've understood a little bit about Vivusoft Technologies, let's get into the flashback mode. Like let's go back and sort of try to understand what were the challenges that you faced with your previous service provider. So can you shed light on that?
Sure. So, I think a lot of our audience here can resonate to this. I think spam is a huge challenge for many organizations. Now, this is a challenge, which you can just ignore, or you can learn to live with it. For a very long time, we were trying to live with it, like spam coming in and all that. But then there were instances where we started getting a lot of emails, spoofed emails, which did raise security concerns as well. And that's when we thought enough is enough, because we were not able to find solutions. There were a couple of add-ons to be added on top of our previous mail service provider. It did help us to some extent, but then we were kind of looking at a foolproof solution. So this cluttered inboxes because of spammy emails. And one of the concerns was we have a lot of young employees, a lot of people who are just out of college. Although security, IT security training is something which we have mandated, but then hackers just need one click to a suspicious link, and then it opens a Pandora's box. So this was a priority. We wanted to fix this. We started looking at something beyond our mail service provider. The other thing which we also figured out was the lack of personalized support. I would say that there were instances when we needed support immediately, and then probably you were just one support ticket number for the support team. So the lack of personalized support and hitting the walls, I would say the bot walls, you get very templated answers, you don't get your queries sorted out. That again was a huge challenge. So there are times when you want your queries to be resolved and talk to a human being. So that's something was also bothering us for a very long time. And then what I also realized during the course was that the frequent price changes which were happening. So and these were something which was kind of not a problem now, but a bother that the uncertainty of the commercials and the pricing. So that also did prompt us. One of the things which I would also like to mention here is we were also looking at a mail server where we have little more control on our data. So the data probably stored in a server of our choice in terms of the geographic location, plus the data security, whether like as I said, the amount of confidential data we were having on our servers, especially on tools like Sheets and all, was very, very significant. So data security was also one of the things which was bothering us. Over and apart, I think once you decide that something is taking you off, you also start looking at the option of moving on to something else. But then there are these tools are pretty sticky, I would say, because you have probably accumulated a lot of data, and we were kind of concerned as to how are we even going to be able to make the transition, how will the migration happen. So although the decision was kind of made that we want to move our mail service provider to somebody else, at that point we were not even sure about where will we move it. But that concern was there that around 1.5 years of email data, close to 2 years I would say, of email data, lots of documents, a lot of files, how will the migration happen. So I was kind of sitting on the fence for a very long time to make a decision. And I'm sure the larger the organization, the tougher the decision is. And the fear of you losing data, and you not being able to migrate, or times when you are stuck midway, you are neither this way or that way, how does that happen. So I think I guess I believe the decision was made easy because one of the webinars which I attended, again from Zoho, where it was shown how easy it is to migrate the data, and that gave us confidence. And then we wanted to try it out, and we finally took the plunge, Diksha.
I'm sorry.
And then we finally took the plunge.
Yeah,
We have not looked back since then.
Great. So because of the reasons like spam emails, poor support, and higher pricing, you decided to move. And only after watching the webinar, as you were saying, you had got that confidence that yes, you can move ahead with Zoho Mail. So that's where I want to discuss a little bit more as well. So how did Zoho come into picture? How did you actually discover Zoho?
Yeah, so interesting question, Diksha. So we are, a startup, and we are recognized by the government of India under the flagship Startup India program the government of India runs. And Zoho credits were given to eligible startups as part of the program. We were lucky to have them. The idea of this program is to enable startups to use the best tools which are available for them in the market, so that they can grow. And we got I guess a couple of $1,000 worth of Zoho credits, and that gave us the opportunity to have a risk-free trial of the Zoho ecosystem. So Zoho Mail, the entire Zoho Workplace plus a couple of other Zoho apps is we use those credits to try this out. And during the process of this trial, we figured out uh, we the Zoho Mail features were very similar to what we were used to. I would like to also take the name, like I've been a Gmail fan for I don't know, ever since I started. Maybe before that it was Yahoo and Rediff, but for a very long time I guess I've been a Gmail fan. I still am. It's perfectly fine for me, for personal use. But the requirements in a company are little different, and I figured out that whatever we needed in terms of functionalities, uh, all the problems, all the challenges which we were facing in our current tool were all very easily figured, addressed by Zoho Mail.
You were talking about the evaluation part, right? You were telling that you tried out these Zoho applications, and the features, they were on par with the other mailing solutions that are there. I wanted to know that what was that one thing that made you go, okay, Zoho Mail is it, I'm going to go for this application. What was that one thing that made Zoho Mail stand out of the rest of the applications that were out there?
Diksha, I consider myself a little techie, and I love to go a little deep into the applications which we are planning to adopt in our organization. And I immediately fell in love with the admin panel, and the kind of flexibility it offered to the admins in terms of the security, the spam control. There are obviously a lot of features which I can talk about in terms of how how the users would love it. But then when you are evaluating it for your organization, and you are looking at it from an admin point of view, I think I was just blown up by the flexibility of the admin module, the admin control center of Zoho Mail.
And sort of any advice, for the people who are, who might be evaluating the new software? What are the things that you think they should keep in mind, or they should test out before they're finalizing their email solution? Are there any
Yeah.
tips that you would like to share with them?
This is my favorite question. When my fellow, like other founders or other
Yeah.
entrepreneurs from the startup ecosystem ask me this question,
Yeah.
which mailing tool should I look at? So I tell them, like look beyond the obvious too. Like obviously when you are just starting out, or are in the market to evaluate a mail server for your company, you basically look at just the two, probably the Microsoft or
Yeah.
Google. But then there are much better tools to look at it,
Mhm.
and you would not know unless you take that plunge and try it out for
Yeah.
yourself. So I think I was probably sitting on the fence for too long to try and take the plunge. But
Mm.
I would suggest like people uh, who are evaluating tools, they should definitely look at
Okay.
alternates like Zoho Mail.
Okay, that's really great. That's awesome. So now that we have talked about your experience with the support, we have talked about your challenges that you faced, and we have understood how you discovered Zoho. Let's move into your migration journey into Zoho Mail. How was that experience for you, Saurabh?
Yeah. So as I said, earlier, Diksha, that the migration, we like I saw a webinar, and it was very, like, we learned it's very easy. Then we did a lot of research in terms of the documentation which is there. You have a lot of videos which are there. Then one fine day we decided that next weekend we are just making the switch. I guess I wrote an email to Zoho Mail support. I immediately got assurance and a couple of help things, and telling us how to do about with it.
Yeah.
We decided we'll do it on our own. So
Wow.
we did it on our own. And when we did it, I think we decided to do it on a Friday night. So thinking that
Yes.
Monday when we are back in office,
Yes.
hopefully we'll be on the we'll cross the river and we'll be on the other side.
Yes.
But surprising, I guess Saturday morning when I wake up, I think it was all migrated. So to me, it was kind of like a magic. And
Mhm.
then I spent the whole weekend, checking, whether anything has been missed. Like I couldn't believe that it can happen so fast.
Yeah.
And I think we use the Zoho Google native migration toolkit which you guys offer,
Yes.
and I I couldn't find even one single file which got lost. So everything got transferred. Uh, there
Yes.
were obviously some errors which we were able to immediately fix over the weekend. And Monday, when the team was back in office, apart from the the new UI, they didn't find anything missing.
It was great. Okay. And would you like to touch upon a little bit on how your experience was with the support team even after the migration? Have you interacted with them? How has your experience been with them?
Very frankly, there was only one instance, probably in the last year or so we are with Zoho Mail. No,
Hmm.
not
Yes.
much. Not much is required in terms of support. But then
Hmm.
you want to do something and you probably don't know how to do
Yeah.
it. So feature-related questions were always there,
Hmm.
and we've always found the support to be very proactive, willing to help. I like there are multiple channels to reach out to Zoho support, rather than just a chatbot or a
Yes.
customer support ticket. So
Yeah.
that made it very easy. Yes.
The human interaction, right? Yes.
The human interaction, yes, I guess that's very vital in this world, especially the post-COVID world, and I
Perfect.
think we got enough of it with Zoho.
Yeah. And even before the webinar started, right, we were talking about the community meetups. So, Saurabh, would you like to share, how your experience was during the community meetup on the topic of human interactions? Would you like to talk about that?
Which I recall, the day I guess we met during one of the community meetups. It
Yeah.
happened in Bangalore, and I got a mail, and I just went to the venue where the community meetup was happening. The idea was to meet the team behind Zoho Mail face to face.
Yeah.
I had a couple of queries, get them answered, and I
Yeah.
could find everybody from right from sales, marketing, support, tech team. So there were people, the entire Zoho Mail team was there, in fact. The sessions were really, amazing. So I remember, learning a lot of new things, like, okay, wow, you can do this as well with Zoho Mail. So, so there was, a lot of discovery which happened during that community meetup, which I attended. Plus, there were some long pending questions, like there are things which you put in the back burner, right? You don't reach out or you don't write to support or get them answered. Like one of these things was about, the quarantine emails. And I remember your colleague Balaji, very patiently listening to me cribbing about it, and then, showing it, sort of it's already available. And that was again, a wow.
That's great. And fun fact, we actually me and Saurabh as well met during the community meetups. So your audience, if you we try to host these community meetups in-person meetups with our customers so that we can meet them and understand their requirements, get their feedbacks and everything. So we conduct these community meetups every year, but for this year we have wrapped up the meetups, but next year we will be traveling to cities near you, and we'd be really happy if you would come and meet us. So usually the details regarding these community meetups are posted in forums, or you might find some in-app banners or emails regarding it. So attendees and audience, you can keep an eye out for it. And I hope we also meet during the meetups, and then maybe we can do fun activities like this that I'm doing with Saurabh today. So yeah, looking forward to that as well. Now let's get into the my favorite part of this webinar as well, is the favorite features, right? So Saurabh, as an founder of an organization, you wear many hats, right? So I'm curious to know what your favorite features in Zoho Mail are, depending on your role. So as a user, as a founder, and as an admin, what are some of the favorite features or some of the major features in Zoho Mail that you have used, and how they have benefited you or elevated your email experience? So we'll start off with as an admin, what is your favorite feature?
I think as an admin goes without saying, the admin console, and in the console, the spam control, the quarantine feature which you have in Zoho Mail. And, I think it's very, like something which I really liked was that, you can choose, Zoho Mail gives you the flexibility to, choose the kind of emails you would want to receive, or even be flagged as a spam email or, quarantine emails. And then I learned, probably because, the 15 years of history, you have probably, like seen, all kinds of, emails, being sneaky emails being pushed into, inboxes. So find a way to quarantine them. So that's something very nice, the quarantine feature without even opening an email, the admins and, designated people can preview the email and then see what to do next, whether the email should be delivered or should it be denied. So that's something which I feel, is a very, very nice feature. We started using this very effectively. And one of the things which I would like to also mention here, Diksha, is that, I was able to choose, like the kind of segregation I want to do with these spammy emails based on either SPF or DMARC or DNS, or DKIM based. So you can get geeky with your emails and choose what kind of emails you want.
Next, as a user, what would be your favorite feature that you're using? Or
I think it keeps changing, but I think since the last release, the Trident app on my Mac,
yes.
that's something which I'm liking. The reason I like it, Diksha, is because so I have access to a couple of team mailboxes plus my personal inboxes, and it's very easy to shuffle between different mailboxes. And not just that, the Trident app also helps me manage my calendar or Click or the other tools which I use from the Zoho Workplace suite. So all of them are there, right there. My calendar is there, my Click is there. Everything is out there. So yeah, Trident is my current
favorite thing. As a founder, what is your favorite?
Yeah, so I think one of the things which I really like is the concept of sharing the ability to share drafts with the team so that people can collaborate and they can review the email before it is being sent. So a lot of for us, a lot of these proposals and sales emails which are critical, they have to go out to the customers, and like we use it very effectively in terms of reviewing it as a team. So that's something I like a lot. And I would like to also talk about one more functionality which I've started liking a lot of it is the ability to delegate your inbox to your teammates. So there, like as I said, I'm a tracker. There are times when I'm not in office or anybody else who is traveling. We all can delegate our team box to the right people. Then obviously
That's another favorite one. Yeah.
That is slowly becoming my favorite these days. Yes.
Yes. Before we move into the benefits and ROI section, right? I also wanted to know about other solutions that you're using apart from Zoho Mail. So I do know that you're using Zoho Workplace and a couple of more other Zoho applications, right? Could you share with our audience on how these different applications in Zoho Workplace, particularly, how they complement each other?
Sure. So, Diksha, I think we use a couple of Zoho applications. Like I said, we use the CRM platform. We use Zoho Meetings. We like Zoho Meetings. Obviously, is part of the Zoho Workplace. We use Zoho Books, which is our finance application. And the way the customer information flows seamlessly between these applications, because the nature of these apps have been natively integrated with each other. I really like that part. So you don't need to have push data from one platform to another. It seamlessly flows. And then through the search option, the ZIA search, I'm able to find anything, not just within, let's say, the mailbox, but across applications. So that's something really nice.
I think ZIA search is something that we've heard a lot of customers talk about as well. Yeah. I'm sorry?
It's a lifesaver at times.
Yeah, that's right.
You think your data is in one application, but actually it's sitting somewhere else, so ZIA makes it very easy for us.
That's great. Saurabh, can you, share in terms of Zoho Workplace specifically? I'm interested there. I wanted to know if you could share, your top 3 favorite apps apart from Zoho Mail in Zoho Workplace bundle.
Okay, so the workplace. So I like the entire suite of office tools. So I write on Zoho Writer. For a spreadsheet is Zoho Sheets these days. We have also made a switch from PowerPoint to Zoho Show some time back. So the entire suite is something we really like. Then we all collaborate using Click. So that's another tool which we
Great. That's really
as well. I find the quality of meetings to be really good on Zoho.
Okay, so now let's get into the main thing, into the real thing, that is the benefits and ROI section. So Rajji, do share the benefits that you have encountered after moving to Zoho Mail.
I think as an entrepreneur, cost saving is a very important thing. So we did figure out Zoho has resulted in a significant cost saving. So around 60% cost saving in terms of the software license fee alone. So that's what we encountered immediately after switching. Now, since the tools are also very like interconnected, very natively integrated, so we also found the productivity to go very, very high. Like I can easily write something in Writer and just share a link across Zoho Click and get it reviewed, or emails being not being sent every time, being in draft stage and shared with stakeholders. So productivity also has taken gone up. And probably the another reason, one thing is that like the data being in silos in multiple platforms is now there, and that's where I said I love ZIA search, because ZIA even though the data might be in multiple different Zoho applications, but still Zia is able to point us to the right one, and we are able to figure it out. So collaboration has become much more seamless. So
Great.
I must also tell you, what we were using, before Zoho Workplace. So we were using Google Workspace for our, mail solution. We were using Slack for internal communication, and we were also using, both Zoom and Google Meet for meetings. So post this migration, it's just one single platform. It's, the Zoho Workplace.
So, Saurabh, we've covered, about the challenges that you faced in the organization. We've covered how you discovered Zoho. We have talked about your migration journey, and we've also talked about your favorite features and the benefits that you've encountered. So, now from all this collective and experience, right? What do you have? What is the advice, or what do you have to say to businesses from industry types, or startups in general who are looking out for a mailing solution? What would be your advice to them? Your 2 cents, maybe.
Yeah, so like I said earlier as well, especially to startup founders, I would like to say that look beyond the obvious. Like your startups are supposed to not do the things which are in norm. You are a little different. Startup founders are a little different, and you should look beyond the obvious choices in the market. So we also went with Google Workplace solution, but then we also realized that there are better tools in the market, and with much better features at a at significant cost advantage. So that's what I would like to suggest, because over a period of time your team size will grow, your requirements will change. You need a solution which is not only cost effective, but also comes with solid support, is reliable, and grows with you. And you need to have solid control on your data. So you should be able to move it across, and use it the way you want to use it. So these are my suggestions for the founders and users out there.
That's some really great advice, Saurabh, because the part about data, absolutely true. And also, while the top players that are there in the mailing solution market, or even in any market, right, they have strong presence, but they might not always be the best fit for every startup or every business. So, as you said, evaluating options based on the business's expense level or unique requirements, they should find out solutions that that saves costs and also provides functionality and support that they can use to grow their business effectively. So that's some really great advice.
So regarding, I would like to add here, Diksha, one thing. When it comes to data, like your data is also used for targeted advertising. So
Exactly.
that's something a lot of us may not be. So I'm a privacy freak, especially when it comes to official data. You probably would want to have a little more control on how your data is being used, and that's another thing which I forgot to mention. But that was also one of the reasons why we decided Zoho. No, our data is much safer with Zoho.
Now, apart from apart from this advice, I would like to ask you, what are your future plans? How do you plan to expand your business operations? And how will Zoho applications, or Zoho suite of applications help you achieve these future plans that you have?
So we, as a company, we are growing. We have seen significant growth in the last year, and we are going to grow significantly in the coming year as well. So apart from the team size increasing, we are also seeing requirements in terms of other applications to be added. Like as I said, from being born as a remote company to a hybrid company now. So we also have people who are traveling. So we started using, like, for example, Zoho Expense sometime back for people to be able to submit their expense reports and all that. Then we are we felt the need for an HRMS applications to support our HR team. So we see a lot of new things being added as we evolve as a company. And if there's something which meets our requirement, plus is a very closely knit solution to the ecosystem we operate in terms of the ecosystem of applications we operate in, we would want to give it a try.
Okay. And one final question from my end, Saurabh, after which we'll open the floor for question and answer. So I would like to ask you, what is that one thing that you would want to change about Zoho? Like any one feedback, one thing that you would want to change about Zoho?
Okay, so I would not say, so there's nothing, frankly, Riksha, that I want to change about Zoho, but maybe a suggestion,
Yeah.
I would like to see a little bit more deeper integration with the AI tools, especially OpenAI tools. Now, this was something, I also learned in the Zoholix event that, there's something which is coming, a big AI revolution is coming in Zoho. But then, yes, we would want a deeper integration with Writer and probably with the email as well.
That's one thing. Great. We'll work on that, sort of definitely. So I think with this, we have come to an end of the webinar. Thank you so much, everybody, for attending the webinar. We hope this is beneficial, and I hope to see you all soon in a similar webinar. So thank you once again, Saurabh, and we'll be ending the session for now.
Thank you, Diksha. Thank you, Zoho Mail and team, and wish you many more years of success.
Thank you so much.